Hi, and welcome to your TxRvAdventures instruction video. I'm Brittany, and behind the camera I have Lauren today. This is our 2022 Tiffin Allegro Bay we call Rocky. He is a 50th anniversary edition Tiffin, and we're going to show you how to use the inside and outside today. Please be sure to stop, take notes, and ask them if you have any questions at your pickup, and refer back to this video while you're out on your vacation. The first thing we like to do is set up all of our hookups on the bottom of the RV before we slide it out. Makes it easier to get to all of your under compartments. The first bay we're going to open up here is the electrical. And this has a nice electric reel. So it has a spot here for you to put the cord. And then when you want to roll it up, just like that. This is 50 amps, and if you do need any step downs or any attachments, please let us know. This is going to be powering the double AC in this unit, so this is a 50 amp. What you want to do is make sure that the power is off at the campground before you plug this in, and then once you plug it in, go ahead and flip that breaker on, getting power into the coach. Before you unplug the RV, be sure that the AC is on the inside and all the major appliances are turned off before we remove it. Okay, so AC is off, turn the breaker off, and then unplug the coach. Then you can go inside and turn on the generator, power everything back up. Inside this storage compartment here, we have oil for the generator. Next, we have our sewer compartment, as well as above it here, we have our fresh water filter. So this is an inline filter for the whole coach. In one of your compartments, you're going to see a sewer hose that'll be in a bag. Take it out of the bag and come inside this compartment, taking off the cover. Give this cap that's on the Y-shaped pipe a quarter of a turn, taking it off. Bring the hose up and then give it a quarter of a turn, twist locking this on. The other end is going to look like this and goes into the campgrounds or a dump station. It'll be a PVC pipe in the ground. Once both of these are connected, this is the gray tank and this is the black. Pulling the handles towards you opens them. We suggest any time that you're parked at a campsite that you keep this gray in the open position, and all of the water from your sink, showers, as well as the dishwasher and the washing machine will drain out gradually and go to the dump station. We never want to leave this open at the same time that we're going to dump our black. So there's a gauge on the inside of the RV that tells us when they're full. When the black reads full, close the gray and then pull the black. Okay, and this is all gravity based with rapid dissolving toilet paper. So we want to make sure that we have a lot of pressure and a lot of water in there to break down the toilet paper. Please only put RV toilet paper down these tanks. No flushable wipes or anything else can go into these tanks. When you're done dumping the black, close it off, go back inside the coach, put your foot on the pedal and put about a minute's worth of fresh water back in the tank and a little bit of soap. And that is going to be the base for this tank again, so that as soon as you use the restroom, there will be some water in there to break down the toilet paper. The night before you're going to leave, we suggest closing both of these valves, filling them both up, and then dumping the black first, which is going to be all your wastewater, and then close it, and then rinse your hose with the gray soapy shower water. And then it'll be somewhat cleaned enough for you to put into your storage compartment. Please make sure that the cap is back on and that both tanks are empty before returning it back to us. In this compartment, we also have our side winders. And these are going to be septic supports, and set these out whenever you're going to be at a campground for a few days. This is a gradual slope so that it drains a little bit better. I'm going to put this inside this compartment here. Next compartment is our wet bay. This is where our fresh water is going to go into the coach. This will be where you fill the freshwater tank as well as where you'll be connected to your city water. So right here where we have our 90, we're going to have a very short hose right here. And this is going to drop down. And then in our next compartment over, there will be a very long 50-foot water hose that will have a regulator. And this will go attached to the park side, and then you'll turn the water on. Water will come in and go through here. Now what you do with the check valve right here determines where the water goes. So right now, I'll put it down, this is city water. So anytime that I am parked at a campground, I want to be in this position and water will just feed in to this 90. The night before I'm about to leave, I want to fill the fresh water holding tank. Drop this in the down position, and while you're still connected here, it will fill this holding tank right here. Always stay with the coach when you're filling. We want to make sure that we don't overfill. And there's a gauge inside to tell you how much is in this. This is 150 gallons of fresh water, so it's a very big tank. Before you leave, make sure you put it back onto city water. This tank will be full when you pick up the RV. Next, we have our tank flush. This is capped off. This is for us only. We are going to do the tank flushing. Again, we want you to make sure that the black tanks are empty. There is nothing to do here. This is for hot water heater. This is telling you caution, be sure that you have your regulator on. Again, we do have the regulator right here. You have an outside hose to rinse everything off, maybe wash the dog, rinse your hoses. You can turn your water pump off and on right here. This is for your pump to have water when you're not connected to city. So there is a water pump that allows you to use this holding tank. We have outlets on the outside, as well as the coax cables here that will get plugged in if you go to a park that has cable connections. Next, we're going to go over the driver's side. We have our DEF here. This is for the emissions of the vehicle, and this will come to you full. And we have a spare box just in case you get really low while out in travel. Please fill this before returning back to us. Right here, just below the door, we've got a plug for the block heater. So this is only going to be for when it's really cold outside. And if you're going to be traveling in cold weather, please let us know. We'll provide you with an extension cord. This is to warm the engine up before you start it. So if it's really cold out, you're going to want to plug this in and keep that block heater nice and warm. Please unplug this before starting the engine. But let us know when you're going to be traveling to cold weather, and we'll definitely go over it in a little bit more detail with you. We have right and left turn signal cameras. Lots of batteries. Next compartment here has our extra coolant, our extra box of DEF. This is your fresh water hose. And on the sidewall, we have our house battery disconnect as well as our inverter disconnect. These are resettable breakers here. Just above on top of the roof, we have an inverter. And this can be turned off and on the inside of the coach. But if you're having any issues, this is where you'll press the reset on the outside of it. Just give us a call and we can walk you through some of that. This is going to power your refrigerator while in travel and your televisions and things that are running off the battery. All of these doors are soft close doors. So just one light push and they close really nicely. This has a really large slide out here. That's why we like to access these first before sliding it out. But just above it, we have our slide topper. It looks like an awning casing, but it is not. The only awning is on the passenger side. This is going to slide out with the RV and protect the slide out. So from any pine cones, leaves, or debris from getting in that slide out truck. This is for your Suburban furnace, just for maintenance, nothing to do here. Back of the refrigerator, again, just maintenance. Your 50 amp power cable. And inside this compartment, you have your Cummins generator. This is going to be running on the diesel, so be sure that you do fill that 100-gallon fuel tank. We are going to clip in another video just after this, and it'll go over how to service and check your oils, your breakers on the generator. We've got our time clock here that tells you how many hours are being used. We'll read this at pickup and again at drop off. Lets us know how many hours you've been running the generator. So you can come out here and take a look. Next, we've got our oil and our coolant levels. We do check these before you leave, and we provide extra oil for you as well if you're on a longer trip. They will shut off if you do have low oil levels. The next big one here is the breaker. So if this generator does kick on, but you're not having any power being produced to your televisions or your air conditioning units, likely this breaker has tripped. And what makes this breaker trip is if you stop the generator with the appliances still on, and the next time you go to start this generator, it'll have too much of a load on it, and it'll trip it. So you want to come back out here and put it back on. So again, remember turning all of the major appliances off, then stopping the generator, or turning all the appliances off before you unplug the coach. Very important. Next, we're going to go over the specs of this RV. It's 39.5 feet long and 13.5 feet tall. The tow capacity on it is 12,000 pounds with a 2-inch hitch receiver. We do allow towing on our RVs. You do need to bring your own tow equipment, and it is a fee to tow, but we do rent golf carts as well as bike racks that we can attach on here for you. At the back, we have a 100-gallon diesel fuel tank, and this is right in the middle so you can get to the either side of the fuel pumps. So if you're on this side, it's easy to get to as well as the other side. Backup camera right here. And then this tiny little thing right here is for your dryer. This is the exhaust for the dryer. We ask that you don't get up onto the roof. This is just for us to service the double air conditioning unit. Sometimes you'll find that in the heat of the summer, these air conditionings will provide condensation and it will drip down the side of the RV. This is totally normal. It'll drip to the lowest point on the RV. On the back here, we have our hot water heater and the exhaust for the hot water heater. We have some extra storage in the back. All of these compartments do have lights in them. Just please be sure to turn them off whenever you are done inside of them. One of our slide outs right here. And then another compartment. To the left of the door, we have our propane tank. This is 102 pounds of propane, and we will fill this for you when you pick it up. Please be sure to fill it before dropping it off to us. To fill it, you can go to any truck stop or U-Haul. Sometimes the campgrounds do sell propane as well, but this is a big tank. I mean, this should last a really long time. This is going to be for the furnace. It's going to be for the hot water heater. So, but this is about double the size of what most tanks are. So this is going to be for a very long trip. This is turning it off and on, and then the fill. This is the truest read of how much propane is in your tank. So be sure to check this, every other day or a couple days to make sure that you don't get too low if you are using that furnace. Just above us right here, we've got our tanks. Okay, so these tanks have the little heaters. So this is good for winter travel. This unit has a lot of good features for that. It has the tank heaters. In this compartment to the right of the door, we have some outlets. on the right side of the wall. So if you bring extension cords, you can plug things in outside here. This is the ladder to get up on the roof. This is for our maintenance. And then we do provide camping chairs. This unit does sleep 6, and we have 6 chairs inside. The outside television, sound bar, as well as USB up top. This does have a dish, and this is perfect for tailgating. DirecTV dish will play on this outside TV. This is your hydraulic jack system, and that's where your hydraulic jack fluid will go. We will check all the fluids before you travel. Lauren's going to show you just below here what your jacks look like while they are stowed. Okay, so you can still see them. It's visible to see your jacks. Okay, right here, right there. So you'll still see the foot, but this is what they look like while you're in travel. And then it's automatic. So these have an automatic jack system. They'll drop down and it will self-level for you. We're going to take a look at the awning. We have an outside patio light and an awning light. This is a great feature because if this awning is in, you can still use the light strip. Anytime that it's really windy, please be sure to bring the awning in. Okay, wind, rain, if you're not with it or you're sleeping at night, please be sure that this is in. But it does provide a lot of really nice shade for tailgating. Your side camera here. Just below right here, we've got our tires. Huge tires on this, and they do have tire monitors. So right here is where the monitor is, and there is a display on the dash that shows you what the tire pressure should be, and they will start alarming you in real time to if they're too high or they are too low. We've got a hood latch here. On the windshield, we've got an easy tag. This is good for anywhere in the state of Texas. If you travel outside of Texas, please stop and pay those tolls separately. Once you've unlatched the hood, gonna give this handle a tug and give this engine some love. So just inside here, we have a huge engine. We do provide extra coolant, and that's where this will go. This is where you access your windshield wiper fluid. Again, all this will be topped off before you pick it up. Some great features on this motorhome include a sky window, which is going to be up at the top here. This is perfect for the person who's going to be sleeping in this upper cab. It gives them a great view of the outside. We love that this coach has full body paint. This is a gel paint coat and has a beautiful color and the design on it. Again, with these, they are so tall. We want to be careful and swing really wide when we're driving, as well as be really careful of tree scratches when you're in your neighborhood. Okay, so stay far away from the trees and swing nice and wide at gas stations. Right here are our steps, and this is a 3-step. This is automatically going to come in whenever you turn the engine on. So they will be down when you're camping, and then when you turn that engine on, they will automatically come in, and there's a switch on the inside for that. So let's take a look on the inside. Before we set up the inside of the coach, we're going to take a look at the dash. Right here is where we have the shifting. We have reverse, neutral, and drive. These need to be in neutral when you set. and to apply the parking brake. So it says pull it to apply it out when you want to set it, and then put your foot on the brake and push in to release, and then you can shift it into reverse or drive. So there is no park on these, there's just a parking brake. Okay. Next, right here in the very center, we've got the windows up and down, locking the cab and unlocking. And this one's really important. When this is flipped up, this is our engine brake. So because this unit is very heavy, it's got a really nice feature using this large engine to brake for us instead of us riding on those brake pads. If we're going somewhere at a really steep, going downhill through mountains, Colorado, into, what is that, Jackson Hole, stuff like that. This is where you want to flip on that engine brake, and it'll be pretty loud, and you'll hear it, shifting down as you're going down that mountain. And then take this off whenever you are back onto flat grounds. And then be sure to look for any signs that say, hey, don't use your engine brake in these areas. Make sure it's in the off position. We've got just our AC controls and recirculating air. Above here is the auxiliary start. This is for if the front batteries happen to die and we want to use the back set of batteries in the house. And we want to jump start ourselves. So these are like internal jumper cables. Hopefully we don't need to be using them, but if you need to, just give us a call and we can go over that with you. But this is your internal jumper cable. You can start and stop the generator from the dash as well as in the rear of the coach. When you want to start it, make sure that the air conditionings are in the off position. Then press and hold the start for about 30 seconds to a minute. These are diesel generators and they take a little bit of time. When you press the start, it is self-priming. So basically you're priming it, and you'll see this button here, it'll flash. When it goes solid, that means that you do have power to the generator. When you want to stop it, make sure your ACs again are in the off position, and then tap to stop. For your radio and your cameras, these are buttons to turn this screen off and on. This screen will run on batteries, so when you're driving, those batteries are recharging, but when you're stopped, you're going to be using that and it'll drain your batteries. So you want to make sure that you turn this, off when you're not using it and you're parked. USBs, and some more outlets here. We've got our heated mirrors. Next, we have releasing the airbags. So anytime that you get stopped at a campground, before you drop the jacks and slide the coach out, you're going to want to turn this button on. The light will come on and you'll hear all the air start going out of the bags. We want to make sure that we turn that on and let all the air come out before we drop our jacks. I'm going to turn that off. Next, we're going to go on to where the steering wheel is. And on the dash here, it'll display a couple things we're going to go over. This gives you a pretty good view of everything. Okay, your RPMs, your speedometer. This tells you your trip, and you've got cycling through the menu. This is the button for that. This is the mode. So if you want to know, if you want to set a trip or read the odometer itself, just toggle through these. So I'm going to get it back to, there's your odometer. There's your outside temperature. I'm going to press and hold, and then it resets it. This is for your diesel. It tells me I'm full right now. And then the green bars are for the DEF. So you keep an eye on the DEF, and it should alarm you. I think when it gets to the 1, it'll get red. So it'll tell you need to fill it. These are for the pressure in your airbags. When you start the RV up after it's been sitting for a while, it may need to get air into the bags, and you'll notice that they're lower and there may be an alarm on the dash. Just let the engine run for a few minutes, and then these pressures will come back up and the alarm will go away, telling you it's okay to drive. You've got your hazards right there above the steering wheel. And then on this left side here, you've got your lights. got these are bright lights too. So your regular daytime running lights, nighttime, and then you've got the bright lights. Putting them in the center is back to neutral. We have our cruise control. Since there is nothing on this steering wheel, it's going to be operated on the left side. So you have setting your cruise control. Move over just a bit. There we go. So setting your cruise control, dropping it down. This is setting the cruise control here. So this is turning it on. This is setting it and then resetting it. So if you want to take off what you had on, you just reset it. If you have it on cruise control and you just want to add some speed, you can press this button and it'll add or take it away without having to totally reset the entire thing. You've got adjusting your mirrors. And these are really nice because on this side you've got your regular mirror and then you have the really large blind spot mirror at the bottom here. I'm just going to get low here for the foot pedals. So it looks like you've got 3 pedals, but really there's only 2, right? So this is gas, brake, and this third one right here, it is the tilt for the steering wheel. So you can adjust your steering wheel like this. I'm going to turn the engine off. Shut down. Now it's important that every time that you start this engine, you give it a 1/4 of a turn into auxiliary, okay, and let those glow plugs warm up. I would say about 30 seconds to a minute. And then you can go ahead and turn it over. Once you're ready to begin driving, you're going to want to adjust the seat. So we have a switch here in the center, and this is, if you push it all the way left, you can adjust the seat front to back, and then locking it will twist it in this direction. So twisting it right is the lock. And I'm going to bring you in closer so you can see what this switch actually looks like from the top. So left allows you to move it front to back, and then when you bring it all the way right, it locks it so that it cannot move anymore. Okay, so adjusting the seat front to back, and then next I'm going to show you how to raise and lower the seat. Now these are really special because this is on an airbag suspension and you have air ride, and when you're driving, the seat will kind of go up and down with the RV. So you can lower the seat with this button here. Okay, and this lets all the air out. And if I lift it up, you're going to see that the airbag came all the way up. And so now I can't do that anymore. It's a very stiff ride right now. I can see I'm taller and I'm higher up, but it's a really rough and tight ride. So if I want a little give to this seat, I need to let a little air out, and it'll come down a little bit, and then it'll allow, as I go over bumps, it'll allow it to go up and down. So again, pushing it down, air raising it all the way up. Inside the cab, we have our tire monitors. And so this displays in real time what the pressures are on all 6 of the tires. It will alarm you if it is too high, too full, too high, or too low. Okay, so it'll start flashing and it'll beep. There is a little reset button that you press here, and that'll mute it. Okay, so if it's just by a pound or so, it's not enough to pull over, press mute. If it starts dipping really low, really fast, pull over, check your tires, call for roadside, and as well give us a call. This does plug in as well as has solar. So as long as it's sitting on the dash like this, it is going to charge this box. On the steering wheel, we have where you have your horn, and it sounds like that.
And this is how you do the air horn.
Located just inside the entry door on the left-hand side is where your jacks panel will be located. make sure that the engine is on and your parking brake is set. You'll notice that you have power coming to the panel. You'll have the lights will come on. If you do not have this light coming on, it means you need to make sure you have the engine in the on position. So I turned it on. It tells me that I am ready to operate and that I have enough battery voltage to operate the jacks. Because we already have the jacks in the down position, it's telling me my jacks are down. If I want to level this coach, I need to press and hold for 3 seconds, auto level. It's best to hold very still while this is happening, and this will self-level. Should take about a minute. Once it's finished, it'll tell you that it's all down. Then you can slide out your slides. When you want to leave, again, turn the engine on, pull the slides in, then press and hold for 3 seconds, retract, and it will tell you the jacks, and then it'll say up. So then you know that they are stored. Always go outside and visually check that they are in the up and stored position. Just below that, we have our inverter. We showed you where it was outside, but this is how you turn it on the inside. So you go ahead and turn it on, and then press that you want to invert. Okay, so inverting will allow the fridge to cool on the battery while in travel, as well as running the television while in travel. This does not need to be on if you are running the generator or you're plugged in. But if you are not plugged into anything and you go run into the grocery store, or you're going to be away from it for an hour or two, go ahead and put this on. This will run the batteries down. So you want to make sure that you have a full set of batteries before you start doing this. As you drive the coach, the batteries will recharge. But if you're staying at your house overnight and you pick it up the night before and then you're going to leave the next morning, you want to make sure that you have a full battery, because this does drain the batteries down quite a bit. Next, we've got entry lights. When the blue light's on, that means you have power to them. Your porch light, the master off and on switch, turning everything off or on. And then your ceiling is the entry light just above the door. You have your kill switch to the battery, and then the on switch. If somebody happens to press the off button, it's not a big deal. Just switch it back on. All the power will come back on into the coach. Kids like to touch these buttons. They're right by the door and at the perfect height. You've got your steps off and on. So what this does is when the steps are in the on position, anytime this door opens and closes, whether the engine is off or on, the steps are going to go up and down every time you open and close the door, which can be very annoying, right? So we like to turn them in the off position. That locks the 3 steps on the outside in the down position. And every time you open and close the door, they will stay down. So if kids run right out really quickly, nobody's tripping over these steps. When you turn the engine on, they will automatically come up, even if they're in this off position. Right here is for your awning control switch. This is to make it go in and out, and as well as turning on all of the lights. Some safety features on this coach include the fire extinguisher. There are smoke detectors and carbon monoxide detectors in the coach as well. Once you've set the jacks up, you're going to go just over to the next wall located in the middle of the coach. And this is your main control panel. This is going to operate your slide outs as well as your air conditionings and some of your other features. Pressing the main home button brings you to right here, and this gives you a short features of each and everything on the coach. So it'll show you some of your main lights, your water pump, and all of your levels. Okay, so this is your entry, living room, bathroom. Right now, it's telling me I have both of my air conditionings on, front and rear, and what temperatures they are currently at. Turning off and on the solar that is on the roof. This does have solar power. Starting and stopping my generator, as well as reading my generator hours. We will read these when you pick up the RV, again when you return the RV, and this lets us know how many hours have been ran on this generator. Your water pump, when the light is blue, that means that the pump is on. You can use this anytime that you are boondocking or while you're in travel. Anytime you're not hooked up to city water, this will use your 150 gallons of fresh water in your holding tank. Again, our tanks will come full to you at pickup, and this is where you read the tank level right here. So right now I'm not full 100%, but they will be when you pick it up. Turn this off when you are plugged into city water. You have your gray tank, your black tank, and your propane levels, and this tells us all the levels in every tank. Next is the main light switch. So anything that has an arrow up and down has a dimming capability. So like I want to pick a living room, I press and hold, and then I can adjust. A master off and on switch to turn everybody off and everybody on. Your ceiling fan, this is for your master bedroom. This turns it on high, low, and then all the way off. Your thermostat. So I'm going to go on to this rear one, for example, and I have my AC. So right now I'm on AC and I'm on auto. This is the fan speed. Next, you have a heat pump, a furnace, and then turning the air conditionings and furnaces off. So your heat pump is using electric to heat this RV. So we suggest anytime that it's around 50 to 60 and you just want to take some of the cold off, right? You just want to make sure you get it a little bit toastier in here, use the electric heat. It's going to save you a lot of propane. Anytime that it's below 50, go ahead and turn this furnace buttons on, and that's going to use propane to heat the coach. Next, we'll go into these fans, and this is going to be for all of your bathroom fans and your ceiling fan, raising and lowering them. Make sure they're all in the down position before you travel. This also lifts and lowers the TV, as well as there is another control for that by the sofa. Last is your slide out. And on this side, it'll show you what needs to be in the green in order to have these move. So we have a green light next to the engine and a green next to our parking brake, which tells us we are good to go. If you see any of these are highlighted red, that means that you need to go turn those features on. So I do have my parking brake and my engine on now. So I can press and hold, either extend or retract, to bring the slide outs in. So this first one here is going to be for where the sofas are, and then you've got on the dinette side, and then you've got your master bedroom. Okay, so just press and hold, and they'll start moving in and out. Okay. Go back to your home screen to view all of your stuff. Next, we have a large kitchen with plenty of storage space. We've got a pull-out cabinet, and then 3 drawers, a 2-person dinette. This does scoot in like this if you want more room in the living room, as well as while you're in travel, this does need to be stowed. And when you want to pull it out, just give it a tug like this, and then you have 2 chairs that will be located in the back bedroom. These do need to be stored while you're in travel. In the kitchen area, we have pots, pans, everything you'll need for cooking. For a list of everything will be on our website. This unit sleeps 6, so we will stock it for 6 people. We have all our cleaning supplies, utensils. The cleaning supplies, and we have the soap for the washing machine here. So this is a nice feature. Be sure, again, if you're using this, that you do have the gray in the open position. That way all of this water will just drain right out. This is our microwave and oven. And this microwave will work on the inverter here. And we've got a gas cooktop. And we're going to show you how to light this. So pressing in and pressing on the sparker, once you see the flame, then just adjust the temperature. On the wall, we have some of the lights here, as well as turning off and on the water pump. This can be turned off at the main panel, right here, or in all the bathrooms. We have pull-down blinds, and then a power outlet here as well. That'll store. And then a double sink. These can be stowed just underneath the sink while you are using it. The refrigerator has latches, and it's okay, just give it a pull. There are 2 latches on the top and the bottom here. She's going to show you inside. This is an all-electric residential fridge. This will take 1 hour to get cool once this RV has been turned off, but we're going to have them cool when you pick them up. But if you choose to turn off the batteries for any reason, it takes an hour to cool down. Make sure that the RV always remains level. This will run on the inverter. So while you're going down the road, you will need to make sure that that inverter is in the on position, or using your generator or 50 amps. Just across, we have the half bath. Nice for if you have guests coming over. Has a hard door right here as well. And then just inside of it here, you've got a breaker. So this is a GFCI reset. So if you are noticing that the outlets in the bathrooms aren't working, or in the kitchen, you'll need to come over here and do the reset. Underneath each of the bathroom sinks, we have trash cans. We want to make sure nothing that isn't rapid dissolving toilet paper goes down these tanks. Lots of cabinet space. Then I'm going to try to get inside here. And this is where we have all the toilet paper in the linen closet. Next, we're going to go over how to use the half bath restroom. This one is different than the master. So this one is a gravity toilet. So the handle is right here for the foot pedal, and you just push down slightly, and this will fill the bowl. Okay, so we want to make sure you fill the bowl before you use it every time. These travel with no water in them. And then whenever you're finished using the restroom, press and hold down for a solid 10 seconds. We want to make sure that we get a lot of water down the tank. We don't want to have any kind of odor. So the more water you use, the faster it dissolves the toilet paper and the less odor that you'll have. Whenever you're done and you're finished flushing outside, you can come back in here, put a little dish soap into this tank, and put about 5 gallons of water back into it. And then you can travel to your next campsite. Remember, all tanks do need to be dumped before returning back to us. In the back of the bus, we have a king-size bed. This bed does remain flat when the slide out comes in. So even though the bathroom isn't accessible when it's slid in, you use the half bath. This will allow you to bring it in, and you can still lay flat on this bed in transport if you need to. Again, king-size bed. We have a ceiling fan in this, and it can be controlled from the main panel or by the bed. Up above us, these are air intakes, but your air comes out of here. So you have these 3 slots in the bedroom, and then there's others in the living room. But this is directional, so you can just twist these. You can close them off if it gets too cool in here. So you've got a lot of ways you can change the flow of air in the RV. But these are just for intake, so nothing will ever come out on this side of the bus. We've got storage up top. I'm going to have Lauren bring you in there. There is a power outlet At the top of that storage, as well as on the sides of each of the beds, you have USB and you have regular power outlets. This is where the controls to your fan are. On this side, we have our television and our storage closet. This gives, give this a pull. This is where your chairs will be located while you're in travel. And then lots of storage space here with some USBs and regular outlets. This television does lift, and we're going to bring you in here so you can see some of the controls. So we have our Wally box. This is for our dish. We've got a DVD player here. And then on this side wall, we have our regular cable channels. So right now we are on the digital antenna on the roof. So the light is green. And then if I tap this, it'll make the light go away. And you would use the coax cable from the park, bringing your own cable and then hooking into their cable connection. But I'm going to use ours, so I'm going to turn this back on. And then next is this red button in the back, and this is for your dish. So that turns off and on and to cycle it back. So if you need to reset it, this is where you'll do it. And if you need to plug any PlayStations or other things into here, this is the compartment that you'll want to do it at. Okay, you're able to access this TV as well as the back TV to plug things directly into them. We're going to bring you into the bedroom now. This has a hard door here dividing off the bedroom from the bathroom. Inside here we have a closet. This is all your towels. And then we have our breaker box. So there is a GFCI in the half bath. There's another reset here, which is this smaller one. And then if any of these breakers become tripped, just reset them back. Again, if something stops working, this is where you want to check first. Again, checking here or the breaker box on the outside of the coach. So this will be for like your air conditionings and things. Some more drawers. Next, we have the other GFCI reset for this outlet. RV toilet paper and lots of space. 2 drawers. And then just inside this cabinet, we have our trash can, but then we also have our hot water heater. So I'm going to bring you in close here. And this is how you'll turn your hot water heater off and on. It's right here. And then there's an off position. Kind of hard to see with this one, but you'll see it's an off position. And then when you turn it on, this will light up. And that way you know that you have hot water heater starting to warm up. These are pretty quick to heat up, so I would say give it about, a minute or 2. These are instant hot water heaters. Your shower has a glass lock and should be locked anytime that you're in travel. So it goes like this, and then has a latch. So I'm going to get inside and I'll show you here. You can open from both directions. Has a nice little sunroof, which is really cool. This thing opens and closes, and it has a light right here, and then you can open up if you want the skylight. Okay, you've got stopping and starting the flow of water right here. So let's say you're boondocking and you don't want to use a lot of your water. Once you get the temperature set just right, you can stop the flow of water, wash your hair, your body, and then when you're ready to rinse off, go ahead and start the flow back up again, and you'll be able to rinse off. On the other side, we have our washer and dryer. This one you want to pull towards you. And these are nice. They're stackable washers and dryers. They are high efficiency only. So please be sure to bring liquid only, no pods. And they go right here inside this. So liquid is best. And if you're using these, remember to always have your gray valve in the open position. We want all the water to just drain right out after you're done washing. This toilet is a little different from the half bath. This is a vacuum flush toilet. So we have buttons on the side. Okay, and when you press the fill button on the left, it will slowly fill the bowl. Okay, so you want to make sure you have a lot of water in there. So you've got the fill, and then you have the vacuum flush. So I'm going to do it one more time. Fill. Again, nothing but RV toilet paper can go down these tanks. And then flush. This RV sleeps 6 comfortably. We have a queen bed that's going to be the sleeper sofa. We have another bed up top here with the ladder and a sky roof. And then they have their own curtain to give them privacy. And they have outlets up here as well as an off and on switch for their lights. If you'd like to have more room getting into the front cab, you can lift this, and this can stay like this while you're driving so that it gives you a little bit more room, headroom to get up, use the restroom, and move around. There is a curtain for this cab, and it's going to be located in one of the drawers just below the TV. It looks like this, and it has some snap buttons that'll go around right here and block off this front area. So this is the way you block the front cab. In these drawers right by the TV as well, we've got all of our remotes. And then you're going to have a manual. So you'll have the video to refer back to, but then you'll have your manual that has the Wi-Fi password, the phone number to call if you have questions. And this is a full user's manual to this RV, going over your hot water heater and some of the other features in the bus. To the left of the television, we're going to show you there is an HDMI hookup right here. So you've got HDMI hookups here. You've got some outlets. So if you wanted to put like a laptop here and stream some things, this is where you would do it. And then I'm going to bring the TV in the down position. So to the right of the sofa, we've got an up and down, just pressing it right here. And then this TV will go down, giving you a window behind it. Good. And then we've got some extra storage here. That just above. And then these all do have a privacy curtain up top, like this. And then we have a day shade. So if you just want to block some of the light out, they all have day shades as well. And then just lift. We have a power tower here. So if you're sitting here, you've got that. You've got USBs. You can hook all of your stuff up, charge your phones. And then we're going to use this to show you how to use the bed next. Next, we're going to go over how to convert this sofa into our Air Dream sleep mattress. So just remove both of the cushions and then place them up top or to the side. This is nice because this is a spring mattress as well as an air inflatable mattress, so it is very comfortable. And you just lift from the center. And then we're going to plug it in here. So you've got a plug to the outlet behind you here. And then there's an inflate and then a stop and then a deflate button. So right now I'm inflating it, but I'm going to stop it and I'm going to deflate it and let everything go out. And I'm going to let Lauren show you how to adjust the bed.
So you're going to grab the head of the bar back here, pull up, and then it'll lock itself in place. And then you have to make sure you pull it up push it all the way back down before you fold it, so that way it'll properly go back into its couch position.
Yes. So this one's got where you can kind of tilt it up to watch the TV, but then make sure it is down before you try to store it, or will not fit underneath. So we're going to collapse it back in. And while we do that, we're going to tell you there are 3 seat belts to this sofa. So there are 3 seat belts up front, and then there are 2 seat belts on the captain's areas. So this can seat belt 5 people. And the seat belts are just underneath this. So if you don't see them at pickup, just make sure you pull them out if you need to. And these are lap seat belts. So this unit can comfortably sleep 6 people. It's got a lot of space, a queen bed, a king bed, and then a full bed up top. Next, we're going to go over how to use the television. We're going to power it in the on position using the LG remote.
Fire in a state of emergency is to make sure that we can stand up and be prepared.
Next, we're going to use this to channel over to the home in the bottom left corner, and this is going to be your dashboard. This shows you that you can use live TV, HDMI, any other HDMIs that you put like a PlayStation in, or the DVD player. You have AirPlay as well as sound sharing, so you can Bluetooth to your device and it'll play on this sound bar here. So we're going to select live TV to start, which is the top one where we're already at. So we've got live TV. And in each new city that you go to, you are going to need to scan for local channels. So we're going to press the settings button. And we're going to scroll all the way down to where it says all settings. Go down to channels. Scroll over and do channel tuning. And then start the auto tune. Make sure that yes, you do have the antenna on, which we do. That green button is on. So we're going to press start. And this process could take anywhere from 2 to 3 minutes. We've already scanned, but I'm going to let it do it, this scanning feature anyway. We're 18% done already, and it'll tell you how many channels it's found. So while it's doing this, we're going to go over Wi-Fi in the RV. These motorhomes do have Wi-Fi while you're in travel, and anytime that you stop and turn the engine off, the Wi-Fi hotspot will go away. So you'll want to connect to the campground's Wi-Fi when you get stopped. And while you're driving, you'll use our mobile hotspot. We do have a password. It is in our booklet. So it is done completing the scan. And right here, it's already said we've picked up 69 channels have been found. And right now, we're not going to have any cable channels because we're not hooked up to the hard cable. So it depends on where the signal strength is. And where you're going to be camping depends on how many channels you're going to pick up. So I'm going to skip out of this one and I'm going to say yes because we've already done it, but you'll know to complete the whole process here. If you want to use the dish, we're going to go back to the home. Scroll over to our dashboard, and then we can go up here and we can go across to all these settings. Okay, so I'm going to turn on the satellite, which is on HDMI 1. Then using the next remote that'll say dish here, that's how you'll go through all the settings and the guides and pick up all the channels. Then you'll get to this setting and you'll get to home. The other remotes that are in this RV are going to be a small remote that looks like this. This is for your DVD player. And then you have a JBL sound bar speaker, and this is going to be for Bluetoothing to your phones, or you can use it to link the TV with the sound bar. Next, we're going to go over some of our favorite features about this motorhome. So I'm going to let Lauren tell you her favorite features first.
So my favorite feature about this RV is the fact that it has dish, especially while in travel. So people could be sitting on the couch while in travel and watch their favorite shows. It's also great for tailgating.
Yeah, with lots of TVs, TV outside for tailgating. This is a really nice entertaining coach, bath and a half. It's really good for being at tailgating. We've got an inverter here which powers the residential fridge while in motion. This coach has a lot of residential features. So we've got refrigerator, dishwasher, washing machine, direct TV dish. You really don't lose anything. You get everything that you have at home in a really nice and beautiful motor home. We hope you enjoyed your video, and we can't wait to see you at pickup.